AbilityZard is back on PTCGO. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch and today we're going to take a look at AbilityZard. It's an old favourite of mine and one that has been doing quite well recently in the Vivid Voltage format. If you're playing tournaments on LimitlessTCG.com, then this deck might be one that you could consider playing. Definitely fun on the ladder as well. It has a few pretty solid matchups in the current format. So I would definitely take a look at it. It's really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump onto PTCGO in just a second and check it out. Thank you very much to everyone who has got across to 6,000 subscribers. That happened over the weekend. So I'm very, very thankful for everyone that has jumped on board. If you haven't yet, please do. We'll aim for 10k next. Let's aim higher. 10,000. We'll see how we go. And like the video as well, because if you like the video, more people will see the video, and you might get a nice Christmas present, right? Because Christmas is coming. But you know, it's always going to be coming up. Regardless, like the video, subscribe. Let's go to PTCGO and check out this list. So here's the deck list. It's a pretty solid one, a pretty simple one as well. Ultimately, we're going to be using a variety of different attackers to try and take knockouts using a welder engine. Alright, so we're going to use our welders to try and accelerate energy to our Pokemon. The main one that we're going to be attacking with is Reshiram and Charizard. It hasn't seen a lot of play recently, but since decks like Pikarom and the like have come back into the format in a big way, this card can definitely deal a lot of damage. There's three really interesting attacks, and they each do something slightly different. Outrage for 2 energy deals 30 damage plus 10 damage for every damage counter on this Pokemon, so we can potentially deal 290 damage, which is pretty significant. We're probably going to use this to try and take advantage of some Pokemon that maybe can't hit the 270 damage required to knock this Pokemon out. Things like Pikarom can't get there. Things like Mewtwo and Mew might not be able to get there. If they're playing the Pikarom version of that, then they obviously won't be able to get there either. Things like Colossal, which are a little bit hanging around at the moment. Dragapult VMAX. Eternatus sometimes can't quite get the 270 damage because they're missing a Pokemon or two. So there's a lot of Pokemon that will attack into this and not quite be able to get the knockout. Outrage is very good for those situations. On the other hand, Flare Strike, super good, consistent damage output that will knock out anything in the game that isn't a VMAX Pokemon. 230 damage will do the job against almost everything. Obviously, there are a couple of Pokemon that will survive. Mewtwo and Mew, I've already spoken about. Those kind of Pokemon might get past you. ADP is not going to be easy to knock out either, but we do have Double Blaze GX as well. For 3 fire energy, we deal 200, and if there are 6, we can deal 300 damage. So if we can't deal with it with Flare Strike, then Double Blaze is the way to go. Unlike in the past where AbilityZard has run with a whole bunch of different fire-type attackers, this deck actually does use a different strategy, instead focusing on Pokemon like Dubwool V and Cramorant. Cramorant really good with Spit Shot, deals 160 damage to a Pokemon on your opponent's bench. For 3 energy, this is really good to take 2 prizes on Dedenne, plus you can use Zigzagoon and Scoop Up Net, which this deck plays 4 of, to try and get some knockouts on some higher HP Pokemon, things like maybe, I don't know, Crobat, which has 180 HP, something similar to that. You'll be able to get some knockouts there. And then Dubwool, obviously very strong in the mid to late game. Revenge Blast deals 120 damage for 3 energy, plus 30 more for every prize that your opponent's taken. And if they've taken 5 prizes, this thing can deal a lot of damage. Also, don't forget Soft Wall, the ability on this card. It's very good, reduces the amount of damage that you take by 30, which means the Dubwool effectively has 240 HP, which is very good for a basic Pokemon that is going to be attacking. Now, if we go first, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to power these Pokemon up, but if we go second, we can use Flare Starter Volcanion to try and accelerate some energy there. High Hit Blast is a really good attack as well to use against things like Decidueye and Altaria. It can get to 110 very easily, and it's going to be able to put a little bit of pressure on other Pokemon as well. 110 plus 230 is maths that takes knockouts on every Pokemon in the format. So if you half hit an Eternatus with a Volcanion, that's really good. Cannot complain about that. There's a lot of consistency in the deck as well. We've obviously talked about Crobat. There's Oranguru. We've got 2 copies of Dedenne as well. Jirachi with Stellar Wish is in the list. You could choose to use the amazing rare one as well if you'd like, but Stellar Wish Jirachi tends to be better. We also have Mind Report Mewtwo, which is really, really powerful. Oricorio with Dance and Tribute to draw 3 cards when you get Pokemon knocked out. And Phione to be able to push your opponent's Pokemon around are very, very strong as well. A super, super consistent list. We've got the Welder engine to power us up. We've obviously got Giant Hearth as our stadium, a couple of Fire Crystals. You're going to be able to get that pretty consistently. We have 1 copy of Boss to be able to take knockouts on benched Pokemon if we can't already take the knockout with Cramorant. So yeah, apart from that, this is the list. 13 Fire Energy will do the job for us. I really, really like ReshiZard. It's been one of my favourite decks for a long time. I've played this card since it came out in Unbroken Bonds. It is super, super good. Let's jump on the ladder and see how it fares in Vivid Voltage. Alrighty, we're going to be going first in this game. We've got a Volcanion start, and this hand is not ideal. We've got a Giant Heart, so we'll play that down. I guess we'll just get rid of the Fire Energy in our hand. And grab a couple of extra. The hand is obviously not good. We've got 2... I think I probably need to play down the Volcanion. We've got 2 Volcanion, but not a lot else to do. Our opponent is playing Zacian of some description, so they're either playing ADP or Luca Metal. Luca Metal would be good for us. ADP, not so much. If we find a Welder next turn, we could potentially deal 110 damage, which would be really good. We can get a knockout on a Zacian that way. Zacian 220 HP. With weakness, Volcanion can knock that out. But if they retreat it, and it looks like they've got an air balloon to be able to do that, then that's probably not a good sign. We may be in a bit of trouble here. This hand is really bad. A Pokecom will save us because we can scoop up the Volcanion on the bench and find a Dedenne. Welder obviously would be very good. Dedenne itself, Crobat, anything that's a Pokemon search card would be good. We have a lot of outs to getting out of this hand, but I'm not feeling confident. I'm not feeling confident at all. We're gonna need a little bit of luck here. They're playing down Dedenne, so they're gonna discard their hand, draw 6 cards. I don't know why that effect hasn't taken place yet. What? Did they just bench it at Dedenne and not choose to activate the effect? Alright. Let's discard this Fire Energy and get 2 more. Our hand's completely dead here, but they've got nothing. Because they didn't use the Dedenne's ability. I don't know why that didn't happen. We're just going to put 100 damage on this thing. We can knock it out next turn. Am I the only... That just happened, right? That guy played Dedenne and then nothing happened? Boss? Quick Ball. We got 2 Fire Energy in the discard pile. We've got nothing else. ADP. Why did they... I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Here comes the ADP into the active. They obviously have a energy switch or some sort of... some sort of way to get that energy on there. They'll probably attach a water energy and then... No, they've got Intrepid Sword. Okay. This is really strange, man. This is really, really strange. Our hand is still dead. I don't know what's going on here. We can just keep thinning. We'll get more energies out. There are 3 Fire Energy in the discard pile now. So we know that for a fact. I'm going to switch into this Volcanion. We'll attach an energy to the benched one. We will boss out the Zacian and then deal another 100 damage. We are playing real slow here, but so are our opponents, so it's not too bad. And now, even though we haven't knocked this Zacian out yet, we do have an opportunity to take a knockout with a Zigzagoon and a Scoop Up net. So that is good. We might be able to sneak a win this way, perhaps. They're going to Altered Creation. That means we've got 1 more turn before they start doing something. We're going to need to find a card to play this game soon. But at least we've forced our opponent to do nothing for a long time. There's a ReshiZard. That's good. We still don't have much. We still don't have much to do, but we can get rid of one of these Scoop Up nets to get more energy out of the deck. Let's keep thinning the energy cards out so we don't draw into them. We'll play the Reshi down, where we'll attach an energy, and then High Heat Blast, I think, is the best way to go. Do 110, which will put it within range of a potential knockout from either of our, not from either of our attackers, either of our attacks on ReshiZard. So if we do find Welder eventually, we are going to be in the clear. We kind of want to get Marnied here. That'd be great. Or top deck a Researcher or an Energy, or not a Researcher, a Welder or a Quick Ball or something like that to get us out of this dead hand is really, really awkward. This is not great at all, but that's okay. We're gonna be fine. We're just gonna keep playing it. We're gonna play it out. We've dealt damage. We can take 5 prizes next turn. We're not actually out of this game, surprisingly enough. And they've only got the opportunity to take the knockout on the Volcanion. They can never one-shot the ReshiZard, so they're still 2 shots away, or 3 attacks away. Oh, they're moneying us. This is it. It's happening. They're still 3 attacks away from winning this game. So as long as we don't play a Dedenne down, we should be... I mean, we've got a Dedenne now. Okay. Alright. Chaotic Swell's a bit annoying, but that's fine. They Ultimate Ray on the Volcanion. We promote the ReshiZard, attach an energy, and then play the Phione, play the Dedenne. I think that's going to be the way to go. We are kind of committed to the Zigzagoon play on the Zacian, though. But if we get it, then we're in a really good spot. Because then Phione... Yeah, okay. Because then Phione... Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a spot now where we can secure victory in this game by playing down the Phione and the Dedenne, as long as we get the ReshiZard attacking this turn. So if we get an attack with ReshiZard this turn, which is all we need is a Welder and an Energy. If we get an attack with ReshiZard this turn, we can set up a spot where we win the game next turn, regardless of what's going on. Bear with me a minute. We promote the ReshiZard. Okay, top deck is a Quick Ball. Alright, that's cool. We can play down the Fire Energy. We can Quick Ball away the Switch. Let's see, what is the best thing to grab here? We don't have any Welders in the discard pile, so Mewtwo's not a good idea. I think Oricorio might be good. Maybe the Zigzagoon could be good as well. I think Oricorio is good here because what we can do is we can play down Oricorio, play down Phione, play down the Dedenne. We can draw a bunch of cards. We need to find Welder. So I think the best thing for us to do is grab this Charizard. We'll just thin the deck. We can, I mean, we can still Oricorio. I think we just Dance of Tribute. Let's try that. Okay, we've got a Welder. This is good. We get rid of the Chaotic Swell. We don't get the Hearth, but that's not a problem. We've got the Fire Crystal, which is good. We can play that down, grab some energies out of the discard pile. Now we Welder onto the active. So we Welder 2 onto the active. At this stage, I do not think that it is possible for our opponent to knock out our ReshiZard. But I think it's probably worth going for the Zigzagoon tick if we can. Although I don't really want them to gust it and knock it out. But I also don't want us to get, like, Marnied and have a dead hand. I don't know if we do it or not. Do we need to have the Zigzagoon now? If he gusts out the Zigzagoon, then we've got no way of knocking out that Zacian, and I need to knock it out. So I'm just going to go for the Double Blaze. I think that's the safest play. They're never going to play down another ADP. And that means that we can Flare Strike next turn. So we'll take the 3 prizes here. We have a massive hand, so they're going to want to Marnie us. But that's okay. With Fire Energy, we've got a Quick Ball, we've got a Volcanion. Okay, so next turn, they can potentially take a knockout on anything that they want. They're going to want to take a knockout on Oricorio or Dedenne if they can. They will not be able to get a knockout on the ReshiZard unless they have something real spicy, which I'm not expecting. If they have, like, a Vitality Band or a... Oh, that reset stamp's kind of bad. If they have a Vitality Band or a Zigzagoon... That's such a good top deck. Alright, we've got the Crobat, so it's fine. If they have that, then they can get a knockout on the ReshiZard, and suddenly our game plan becomes a little bit harder to execute. But, as long as we have the Phione in the field of play, and we have access to some draw, we should be fine. So they've Crushing Hammered. They're going to want to put as much pressure on this Reshi as possible. They want to make it so that we can't attack easily. Maybe we should have Double Blaze, Flare Striked that turn, just because Double Blaze can get a knockout on pretty much anything that they play down. Maybe that would have been the smarter move. Because this way, if they hit another Crushing Hammer, We need to find Welder to attack with ReshiZard, which is unfortunate. Although if they attack into us, we have Outrage. So if they choose not to attack, then they've achieved nothing and we give ourselves extra time, so it's fine. Here comes the Zacian. Are they going to Brave Blade? Are they going to Brave Blade? Do they choose to or not? It doesn't look like they do. They get rid of the Mawile. That's spooky. That could have completely ruined us. Playing that Mawile down. They elected not to. That's good. It's good. Here comes the Crobat. They're going looking for like a Gust. They're going to try and knock out Oricorio. Another Crushing Hammer. It was close. That was close. Found another ADP. Okay, I think we may actually be able to win this game. Just because we've forced them to take the knockout on the Volcanion means that they're in this awkward spot where they have to take a knockout on the Reshiram. But if they don't have a Vitality Band or a Zigzagoon, then it's not possible to do that with a Zacian. So we could be in a really good spot here to actually try and win this game next turn. We need to find a couple of pieces though. We need access to Zigzagoon. That's the Brave Blade. Okay, so we can now take a knockout on the active. We can take a knockout on anything actually with Outrage, so we don't need to worry. I think we Crobat. There's a Zigzagoon, possibly. Actually, no, we need way more. Okay, I think we need to Dedenne here, which is a weird thing to say. We can Quick Ball and get rid of this Dubwool. Let's grab a Jirachi. We're just thinning here. I think we need to Phione. They're going to bring up the Zacian with 200 damage on it, no doubt. Because we need to empty this bench space for Phione. We're going to Dedenne, and then we need Scoop Up Net on Volcanion. It's going to be a little bit awkward. We're going to need Zigzagoon, Scoop Up Net off of this Dedenne. Good luck, everyone. They gave us a Crobat as well. That's interesting. Zigzagoon, double switch. This is bad. This does not help us win this game. Did we just lose? Did we just lose? Did I just lose this game? I may have done. I may have just lost this game, guys. I'm going to switch into this Volcanion and then just High Hit Blast and hope that they don't have the game. That's really upsetting. I think I went a little bit too greedy. They've played one boss. They need to switch and take a knockout. Ah! That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. I probably should have just taken the knockout on the Zacian and just left it at that. But I couldn't afford to leave the Reshi in the active. I need to force them to Gust it out. So I had to win the game that turn, and if I didn't, then this is the best play. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. I don't feel so bad now. If they find boss, they find boss. If they don't, they don't, right? We had the chance to win. We just didn't do it. We had the chance, we just chose not to win. But that's okay. So hang on, they already attached to the Zacian on the bench, didn't they? So now they need to switch. They can't just manually retreat this Crobat. Okay. So they must either have a switch or have made a mistake. Those are the two options. They've got a Bird Keeper. Okay. A Bird Keeper is not a Gust. A Bird Keeper is not a Gust. A Bird Keeper is not a Gust. Do we have a chance? Are you saying that there is a chance? There's a Brave Blade. Okay, we're being given a reprieve. We've been given a reprieve. Here we go. We promote the ReshiZard. We have the Zigzagoon in hand. Top decks the Scoop Up now. Okay, cool. We just won. Zigzagoon pings the Zacian on the bench. We scoop it up. We play it again. We take 2 prizes off of that Zacian. And then after we take our 2 prizes here, we use Outrage to win the game. well, there you go. That was a very interesting matchup against ADP. I don't think I've ever seen a game like that against ADP before, but it worked, and that's the most important thing. Alrighty, we are going second this time, and this time I've got a slightly better start and a Zacian again. Okay, so this time we at least have access to a potential Volcanion if we want one, or we can we can be a little bit spicier here. This Pokemon in our hand is probably going to need to turn the ReshiZard into a Dedenne or a Crobat. Of course, depends on what we top deck. Top decking Welder would be bonkers here. We're playing ADP Zacian again. Alright, let's do it a little bit better this time. Last time was an absolute disaster. We managed to stumble across the line. Let's comprehensively win this one, shall we? We need to deal a lot of damage to this ADP quickly. They're Intrepid Sorting. If they miss energy, that's good. They've missed energy. We want to Double Blaze this turn. We've got an energy on the active. We've got a Quick Ball off the top deck, which is really good. We can use that to grab ourselves a Phione, because now we can potentially take a knockout on the Zacian if we want to. And we will also remove that kind of, well, not remove, but force our opponent to go looking for the Gust with the Dedenne-GX. We can discard our hand. They're going to want to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. We managed to find the Welder, which is really good. So we attach 2 energy to this ReshiZard. And now if we want to, we can make the Phione play. And I think this is the smart thing to do. Make it hard for them to get knockouts with Zacians. I think that's the way we're going to go about it here. We've got Crobat, we've got Cramorant, we've got a whole bunch of stuff we can use. We Double Blaze here, take the knockout on the Zacian. Next turn, so they're gonna, okay, here's how it's gonna work. I'll just take my prizes first. Here's how it's gonna work. They're gonna GX, they're gonna play down another Zacian. We're going looking for another Gust, right? So that we can Gust out the Zacian again. If they only play down it, oh my god, Double Crushing Hammer, please don't hit heads. Oh my god. Oh my god. And they're Marnieing us as well, that's really bad. I mean, it's good for us in a way. Because this hand wasn't ideal. We need to find Welder Double Energy again though. So that would be really handy if that could just be in this hand. No. Okay. At least we got Double Switch. Okay, so they've gone for the GX. If we find access to a sorry, I'm trying to do too much. Let's just slow down. Play the Crystal. Get the energy. We want to thin. We're going to discard an energy. We're going to take 2 out of the deck. We want to find Welder off of this Jirachi, please. Welder, thank you very much. Okay, so we want to Welder onto the ReshiZard. If we find Quick Ball or Pokecom, we can get Phione and do the exact same thing again. No, not this time. Alright, so do we Dedenne and hope, or do we attack the ADP? We're going to switch into the ReshiZard. We're going to attach to the ReshiZard. If we attack, we're going to 2 here. I think that's fine. Because they're going to Gust, knock out the Dedenne. Right? Which will reset the Flare Strike. We can attack. Again, take 3 prizes on the ADP. They won't be able to take 3 prizes because we've only got a Jirachi. This is going to be fine. This is going to be fine. We're just going to control the amount of prizes our opponent can take. We don't play down Dedenne. We don't play down a Crobat. No! No! No, 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 no. Okay, this is bad. Why does he play down the Mawile then? We had 4 cards. Oh, my god. Okay, well, at least now we can Crobat. This is going to be really hard now. Oh, they didn't find the Gust! Okay, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. This game is ours to lose. Now it doesn't matter. We just need to put pressure on in any way we can. We're going to go for... Oh, that Phione's really cool. I like that. That's good. We're going to Quick Ball away a Fire Energy. We're going to grab ourselves a Crobat. Probably don't need the Phione, to be honest. Probably shouldn't have benched that. I'm going to attach an energy to a Dedenne, then we're going to Crobat. We just want to put ourselves in a position where we have access to some cards. Let's Whirlpool Suction. Whatever they bring up, we can knock out. They're going to bring up the Crobat or the Mawile. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play down the Volcanion so I can put this in the active. Okay. It's all coming up here. It's all going to be fine. We'll get ourselves a couple of prizes. We still have 2 left, so if they stamp us, we stamp to 2. We win the game if they don't stuff up our hand, right? So if they don't disrupt their hand, we're going to win this game. We're going to do it like this. We're going to promote Jirachi. We're going to play down Mewtwo. We're going to put a welder on top. We're going to Jirachi for the welder. We're going to welder onto the Volcanion. Then, we're going to scoop up the Jirachi. We're going to attach an energy. We're going to knock out whatever is in the active, as long as it's not a Crobat. So, we just won the game, I think. They take 4 prizes. All we need to do is have a welder in the discard pile and an energy in the deck, and I think we win. This has actually worked out a lot better than the last one. Although, to be fair, I would have much preferred it if I could have got the knockout on the ADP a bit earlier, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Let's make sure we do this the right order. We've got Mewtwo, we get the welder. Then we Stellar Wish, because we need to get the welder. Beautiful. Then we welder onto the Volcanion. We get 3 more cards. We got 2 more welders. Let's discard Giant Hearth, get the energy out. We just need 1. We're going to attach that anywhere. It doesn't matter. We scoop up the Jirachi. We promote the Volcanion, and we win the game. How good is that? A little bit better, I think, than the first one. Although, very frightening that turn when they played the Mawile. So there you have it, that's ReshiZard in a nutshell. We played ADP twice and won, can't complain about that. It seems like a relatively good matchup, especially if you can control the amount of prizes that your opponent can take. Obviously, that's the game, right? ADP comes into play, don't put down more than 1 to Dedenne. Like, just don't do it. You don't need to, especially with this deck, where they cannot get a knockout on ReshiZard. It makes it a little bit easier for you if you just play smart. Which, surprisingly enough, I did. Got a little bit lucky there, though. That first game was really awkward. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it. Thank you very much for coming along. Appreciate you, as always, joining me on the channel. If you do enjoy it, then please consider subscribing. Like the video whilst you're down there. Go and click on all the links. There's a Twitter down there. There's a Facebook, which I never use. There's a Twitch, which is barely alive. You can click on all those things and follow in all the different places. I'm going to try and get on Twitch. Like the video if you want me to be on Twitch. Message me as well on Twitter. Like, tweet at me and say, be on Twitch, because otherwise I probably won't do it. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye. My outros are getting weirder, aren't they?